Hello, welcome to what is it? It's December 10th. Holy cow. It feels like 2024 just began and it's almost over, but the year cannot end before we have a new calendar. So we are so excited. We have such an exciting meeting tonight. We have our Carl Gibbs recipient, one of the luminaries of our city. We have our student representatives. We have so many exciting things, and I'm so excited to have people in the room. We're going to begin the meeting with a call to order at our roll call. Melanice?
Cohen. So I will start with the roll call. We have Chair Cohen,
Here.
Vice Chair Schwartz,
Here.
Commissioner Byrne,
Here.
Commissioner Jactiani is absent, Commissioner Feilish,
Here.
non-voting student member Tesser, non-voting student member Fong,
Here.
and non-voting student member Schaefer.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Wonderful. And as I was saying, the meeting began at 7:05-ish, and I really appreciate everyone being here. What's that? 6:05. 6, sorry. It was 7 Mountain. All right, so we are going to next have the Pledge of Allegiance. And for the Pledge of Allegiance, I need anyone who is under the age of 15. How old are you guys? Anyone under the age of 15 to come on up here, right up here in front of the podium, please. We can't have our meeting start until we do a Pledge of Allegiance. Here, help me out. Somebody help. And you guys, the American flag is this way. Everybody, please rise. Here, I'm going to turn the microphone your way. You guys come on up here. Here, all you guys look that way. See the camera? You're going to be on TV later, so you want to make sure they all see you. Cool. And when we end up doing the awards, we'll get photos with all of us with you guys. All right, now turn toward the flag. And I don't remember how to do this Pledge of Allegiance thing. Can you guys help me? Yeah, go for it. Hand over your heart. Go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic that stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You guys rock. Thank you so much. By the way, we start every meeting with one of those. So if any of you have a free evening coming up at our next environmental commission meeting, just show up. All right. Next we need approval of the agenda. Any comments? Any comments on the approval of the agenda? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to accept the agenda. Help me out.
I move to accept the agenda.
Is there a second? Thank you, Randy and Whitney.
Sorry, Chair. I remember you were saying you wanted to move one of the items for
Oh, you're right. Oh, thank you.
Would you still like
Oh my gosh. So thank you so much. Thanks, Melanice. Melanice is a staff person who is so valuable because she catches me when I make a mistake. I actually want to slightly modify the agenda. On the agenda, we have student representatives, as you can see up here. These are high school students who are, and they are you guys in a few years. So if you run, some of our commissions here have student members, and they work really hard, and they're going to tell us about some of the things they do. If we change the agenda, they can tell us about that now. So I would now like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda with a slight modification, because I would like to move the student commission communications to the beginning of the agenda for the December 10th special commission meeting. So if you'll accept my amendment, Randy and Whitney.
Yes, I accept your amendment.
Is that cool?
I make the motion.
Thank you both. Thanks both. So now all in favor of accepting the motion, will you do?
Thank you. I will do a roll call,
Thank you.
Chair. So we have Chair Cohen,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schwartz,
Yes.
Commissioner Byrne,
Yes.
and Commissioner Feilish.
Yes.
Wonderful that we have an approval of the agenda with a slight amendment to move the Student Commission communications to the beginning of our meeting. We will now move to the approval of the meeting summary from November.
Are there any comments about the meeting summary from November? No. Melanie, do you want to go ahead and do the roll call again? Please.
Absolutely. Do we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Thank you. And a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. So I'll go through the roll call. Chair Cohen,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schwartz,
Yes.
Commissioner Byrne,
Yes.
and Commissioner Feilish.
Yes.
Thank you. The approval of the minutes passes. Thank you so much. We will now move into public comment not pertaining to the agenda item. We have Paige Parsons Roche. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Please approach the podium, and you have 3 minutes.
As she's approaching, I just want to let everyone know that if anybody wants to make a public comment about anything that they want to share with the Environmental Commission or with City Council, it works the same, or any of the other commissions, if you show up, you're the public, we're supposed to represent you. You fill out a card and you get a couple of minutes to speak up there. So thank you for being the brave soul to show us how it's done.
There you go. Push the button. Thank you so much. I'm actually a resident, former resident of West Hills and a current resident of Westlake Village who spends a lot of time in Calabasas, spending money in the businesses here because I believe in small businesses and so forth, and supporting. Right now, we are dealing with forest fires, aren't we? And looking around the room, I don't know, high schoolers and maybe some college students in here, I'm not quite sure, but a lot of young people are dealing with climate anxiety, which I hear a lot about. I have a 23-year-old and a 25-year-old that grew up in West Hills, and as well as Agora High School. And the plant-based treaty is about helping to stop forest fires. We're bringing forth the initiative to the city of Calabasas, which you'll be hearing more from Rose Beamer, who is a resident here, to endorse the plant-based treaty as part of your climate action in the city of Calabasas. Being a progressive city, the idea is to educate people about the importance of shifting to more plants on our plates. I'm an educator with the children that I educate in composting in the city of Calabasas, as well as an educator for my children homeschooling and then when they went to public school. So I'm really all about the education for us as adults, which I have since learned recently about the impact with our climate crisis on the food systems that we have currently in place. So the idea of the plant-based treaty is to educate people to bring more plants on people's plates. It's not to take away your burger, but it's to give you options for other climate solution food going forward in the city of Calabasas. So thank you very much. Handing it over to you, Rose.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. We have one more public comment from Rose Beamer. I apologize if I mispronounced your name as well. Thank you. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the Environmental Commission. My name is Rose Beamer. I am a school principal, a parent, and a proud homeowner in this city, and I deeply appreciate the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I am here to propose that the City of Calabasas endorse the Plant-Based Treaty, a global initiative aimed at addressing the devastating environmental impacts of industrial animal agriculture. While I've already engaged with the City Council on this matter, including a response from Mayor Pro Tem Peter Kraut, I wanted to bring this to your attention as the mission of the Plant-Based Treaty is so closely aligned with the goals of this commission. The Plant-Based Treaty is modeled on the Fossil Fuel Treaty and seeks to inspire cities and national governments to take leadership in combating climate change through a shift to a sustainable plant-based food system. Animal agriculture is responsible for 32% of human-caused methane emissions, 83% of global farmland use, and is the leading driver of deforestation and biodiversity loss. Despite occupying such a vast amount of land, it provides only 18% of global calories. These inefficiencies contribute to the climate emergency we all face. Calabasas is known for its commitment to sustainability and innovation. making it uniquely positioned to take on a leadership role by endorsing the plant-based treaty. This action would place us among global pioneers like Edinburgh, one of my favorite cities, and Amsterdam, signaling that our city recognizes the urgent need to address food-related emissions alongside fossil fuels. The treaty's 40 proposals are practical, evidence-based, and divided into 3 critical demands: relinquish, redirect, and restore. Relinquish includes halting the expansion of animal agriculture and deforestation by incorporating these principles into their environmental commitment policies. Redirect involves actively supporting plant-based food systems, promoting meat-free Mondays, and improving access to plant-based options in schools, medical establishments, and public institutions. New York City, for example, has implemented plant-powered Fridays in schools, a model Calabasas could easily replicate to inspire healthier, climate-friendly dietary shifts. And restore. This focuses on rewilding land and improving biodiversity, which aligns with the city's broader environmental goals. Endorsing the plant-based treaty is a non-binding pledge. It's not about enforcing immediate regulations, but about signaling a commitment to exploring sustainable food strategies that benefit public health, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and align with global climate goals. Studies show that dietary shifts to plant-based foods can reduce emissions and resource use sustainability, essential steps to staying within that 1.5 degree Celsius of global warming that scientists so often warn us about. Calabasas has the unique opportunity to lead by example, not just for our city, but for the state and beyond. By endorsing the treaty, we can spark conversations, influence public behavior, and create ripple effects that encourage meaningful change on a national level. In closing, I urge the Commission to recommend endorsement of the plant-based treaty to the City Council. Together, we can ensure that Calabasas is a leader in addressing the climate crisis with innovation, compassion, and forward-thinking action. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to the next piece of business, which is the presentation and recognition of the Carl Gibbs Environmental Excellence Award. This is at this point in the agenda because I thought since we have a full room, it would be really valuable for everyone to hear from this person, as I say, who is a luminary in our city. We are delighted to be here today to recognize and celebrate the exceptional achievements of this individual. The Carl Gibbs Environmental Excellence Award was named after someone who actually served on the Environmental Commission many years ago and served as kind of a role model. And so I'm really proud of all the students who are here and can't wait to hear from all of you. But I want to begin by introducing someone who is actually a former mayor of this city. And I'm just one quick story that I'm going to tell, and then I'm going to be quiet and let her speak. But my daughter was at Bay Laurel in elementary school. She said to me, "Dad, do you have to be a woman to be the mayor?" Which I thought was awesome. So, and it's because of this individual. The award acknowledges your enthusiastic contributions and unwavering dedication to sustainability and the environment. Your hard work, innovation, and commitment have truly set the high standard for excellence. I am personally proud to have served with this person. Congratulations to Mary Sue Maurer on this well-deserved honor. Your accomplishments inspire us all, and we look forward to seeing your continued success. And I would like to open the floor for come up and get the award. Come on up if that's all right. Can we do a quick photo? We're usually in the chambers. We're usually in the chambers, so it's a little more attractive. But here, we'll do a quick. One of the student members come too. Yeah. For those of you who don't, Mary Sue was also a teacher. So she's a government teacher. There you go. Special ed. Right here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. And like if we have something to say regarding her.
Public comment. Oh, yeah. Sure. It- are there public comments? Are there? Is it okay for?
Commissioner?
All right,
comments?
then we'll make commissioner comments. So I've spoken. Are there any other commissioners that happen to know this recipient? Randy?
Okay. Congratulations, Mary Sue, on this well-deserved award. Your amazing legacy here in the city of Calabasas. We are so lucky to have had your environmental stewardship for so many years and your advocacy in protecting our environment and our wildlife, and you're amazing. And congratulations again on this well-deserved award.
Want to speak? Larissa?
I can't say any more than that. We really are so proud to have, we're following your footsteps, okay? Best we can. Thanks.
Whitney?
Yes.
When I'm in your company, sorry, is that better? Okay. When I'm in your company, I am in absolute awe. Some people get really excited when they're around famous people, but to me, when I'm in your company, I am next to someone who has spent so much of their time just making this world a better place, and I'm just profoundly proud to have you receive this award.
I don't know if any of the students were around when Mary Sue. Did any of you have any experiences with her? Or any staff or anybody else want to say anything, or should we move into Mary Sue's comments? All right, Mary Sue, take it away.
All right. Well,
I don't know if the microphone's on. It might be the red button.
I think is it on testing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I couldn't let an opportunity with a room full of children in here without saying a few things about what I'm thinking. First of all, I want to thank the commission and, of course, the beloved Carl Gibbs, who really was a pioneer in setting standards on a local government level. And to receive this award is really nice. You have a challenge ahead of yourselves, unlike any challenge I had when I spent 17 years on the city council. And I'm going to list some of my concerns and challenges that I see in the future that I think not only you, but the children listening and here might find of concern. There's going to be a range of changes these next 4 years, and some of them are major rollbacks in the work that I've done, that you've done, some of the parents have done, and of course, some that the city have done. And I think it's in our best interest that we track them, follow them, and fight harder than ever to make sure that we can have a clean, healthy environment for the children. Some of them are the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement, expanding drilling in oil on federal lands and waters, ending the pauses on the LNG, the liquid natural gas approvals, weakening federal fuel economy standards and gas emissions for vehicles, revoking California's ability to set its own strict gas emissions from vehicles, halting or slowing federal approvals for wind, solar, and especially offshore wind in favor of fossil fuel projects, scaling back protections for air quality, such as rules on air particulates. At the City Council, we once had a proposal to put a preschool adjacent to the 101 freeway. And if anyone's old enough to know about lead contamination, how it doesn't dissolve, it sits in soil, we would have children adjacent to dirt fields of soil, and this would just get worse. Narrowing definition of waters of the United States and reducing oversight of wetlands and waterways. Further weakening the Endangered Species Act and ending federal subsidies for electric vehicles. And there's a whole second page, third page, fourth page, and fifth page that we don't even know about. So I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors. I'd say I'd be helping you, but my plan since I've retired is to spend time in South America. I won't be leading there, I'll be following. I'll be following the local people that live there and the work that they're doing and helping them wherever I can. but I've had a great run here, and this is just the sweetest time for me to receive this. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you, and good luck with your work.
Thank you, Mary Sue. Maybe send us some photos once in a while. Help, so we can vicariously be down there with you. Wonderful. Wonderful. The next order of business is what a lot of you in the audience have come for, and that is the presentation and recognition of the kindergarten through 8th grade artists selected to be included in the 2025 recycling calendar for the city of Calabasas. So first of all, we as the Environmental Commission want to say thank you and congratulations. There were over 1,500 recycling pictures drawn. So, so I want to also thank all the teachers and all the faculty and all the staff and everyone that spread the word. I mean, this is really exciting that we're getting the word out, not just about drawing pictures, but about recycling. And a lot of the times for you students, when you talk about recycling and you draw about recycling, then your parents realize how important it is to recycle. So keep it up. We're gonna the way it's gonna go is that we are going to call you. Melanice is gonna call you up one by one. You'll have an opportunity to come and speak at the microphone, right? And tell us a little bit about your drawings, which will be shown on the screen. Awesome. So we're all going to get to see those, and then we can get photos with individuals, the whole group. How do you want to? How?
Group photo, but if anyone would like any individual photos, you're welcome as well. Thank you very much, Commissioner Feilish. We have a step stool for those of you who may not be tall enough to see over the podium, so we could all see you on camera and showcase this momentum and this great accomplishment.
So
Thank you.
students, the one thing I want to tell you, because some of you have speeches, is to just talk slowly and loudly, because I have hearing aids. I can't hear very well. So that's why I'm talking so loud. So when you get up there, talk loudly so we can really hear you, please. Melanice, please take it away. Do we make
Thank
comments
you.
at the end, or should we make can we make
At the
comments
end. I think at the end would
at
be
the end? All right,
most
I'm going to let my fellow commissioners make comments, because yeah, we'll make comments at the end. I'm excited. This is one of the happiest events of the year. All right, Melanice.
Okay, without any further ado, this is the recognition of the selected K through 8 artists of the city's recycling calendar drawing contest, and we'll have brief presentations by those students. The order is by grade. So first, we will start with the kindergarten grade. We have Vienna in kindergarten from Lupin Hill Elementary School. If you can come up, I will give you your original artwork.
My name is Vienna. I'm 5 years old. Thank you for picking me.
That yours?
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful picture.
And we do have copies of this year's 2025 calendar available to each of you to take home with you. We will be receiving the rest of the shipments soon, and those will be available to the public. Next, we have a first grade, Jaden in first grade from Bay Laurel Elementary School.
My name is Jaden Morton, and I am in first grade at Baylor. I help the environment by recycling paper and bottles. I try my best to not waste paper. I use reusable water every day. Thank you for choosing my drawing.
Next, we have our second grade selected artist, Emma from Bay Laurel.
And helpful because you could turn trash into treasure while helping to protect the planet. I like making jewelry and art out of things some people might throw away, like bottle caps, oak keys, and rubber bands. When I'm done, I love giving my creations away to all the people I love and care about. Creating art from recycled materials is a fun way to show others I care while also being kind to our planet. Thank you for choosing my drawing.
Good job, Emma.
Next, we have Oliver McClure, who unfortunately could not make it tonight, but congratulations, Oliver. For our next third grade recipient, we have Cooper Brown from Lupin Hill Elementary.
My name is Cooper, and my picture is a cardboard city, and you can recycle. Thank you.
Next, for our fourth grade, we have Noah from Lupin Hill Elementary.
Do you want to say anything? No? Okay. Great picture, Noah.
Next, for fourth grade, we have Allison Spearin, who is also unfortunately unable to attend tonight, but congratulations, Allison. For fifth grade, we have Dean from Bay Laurel Elementary School.
Good evening. My name is Dean Frankie, and I am a fifth grader at Bay Laurel. My artwork represents the cycle of the recycling system, which is the 4 R's, and that is reduce, recycle, refuse, and reuse. You can reduce by not leaving the water running, and like not throwing away a bunch of food that like you can save the food that you didn't eat. um Reusing, as in you can use the backside of a paper, and you can reuse plastic cups by washing them. And a way to refuse is you can use the plastic bag to put some storage if you can, and not throw it away. Don't waste plastic if it can be used again. And recycle it. You can recycle paper, plastic, and other stuff that you probably don't need.
For sixth grade, we have Harmony Blair from A.E. Wright Middle School. Harmony, are you here? It seems like Harmony is not here, but congratulations, Harmony. Next, we have Kylie for sixth grade from A.E. Wright Middle School.
Hi, my name is Kylie Ceremi. I'm in sixth grade. I'm 11 years old, and I go to A.E. Wright Middle School. My drawing is showing how we can reuse plastic bottles in many different ways, and it's showing how we can use them with plants and a bunch of different things. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Next, we're moving on to seventh grade. Michael from A.E. Wright Middle School.
I am Mikhail Kurakowski from A. Wright Middle School. I'm in seventh grade, and I did this drawing because I like recycling, and this is my second time winning the contest.
Next, we have Brooklyn from A.E. Wright Middle School. Congratulations, Brooklyn. Next, we have Noya from A.E. Wright Middle School in eighth grade. Noya, are you here? Okay, well, congratulations, Noya. And last but not least, we have Inara from eighth grade A.E. Wright Middle School.
Great job.
We say thank you and congratulations to our selected students and their teachers and to all of the contest participants. We'd love to invite you up to take a photo with our environmental commission members and the student commission members. If you could bring your artwork up, we'd love to take a photo.
Let's go here, and then that can be in front of us. Come on up, everybody. And before you guys leave, I want you to just stick around. Just give us 10 more minutes in the meeting. I know it's a school night and everything, but I want you guys to hear our student members. That's why we changed the agenda, so you get to hear them too. So come on up real quick. We'll get a bunch of pictures. Please.
If any of the principals are here as well, you're welcome to come up and we can take a group photo of you with the commissioners and the students.
right, if you can stick around, we're going to jump right in. Larissa, we're going to keep going. If any students who can give us another just 10 minutes, I want to just move right into our student reports. And then you guys can go home. You don't have to hear all the adult stuff that we're going to talk about. But I'm going to jump right in to a student report. And who's going first? Gavin?
Yeah.
We're going to start with Gavin. And by the way, are you going to talk about
Yeah, I can talk.
you're going to talk about this?
Yeah, but I think we have a presentation.
All right, here, wait. We got a presentation. Everybody ready? Look at the screen. Everybody check it out.
Wonderful. So I will go
Hi.
first.
Okay. Can I go?
Is it not sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about this.
Otherwise, I'm saying.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gavin. I'm a student member on the Calabasas Environmental Commission and a junior at Calabasas High School. And I'm also a two-time winner of the recycling contest as well. So one thing I wanted to talk about is the Pencil to Planet art program, because we realized that the recycling contest ends at 8th grade. So now we're beginning a program that will continue that legacy for high school students. And so we're calling it Pencil to Planet, and this is a high school level art contest. And the winning artwork will be displayed at the city, and it's also implemented into the curriculum at Calabasas and hopefully the curriculum at Agura too. And that's just one of my paintings incorporating recycled plastic. And yeah, it's just about plastic pollution. Thank you.
I did want to just interject very quickly and mention that we still are in the early planning stages and we don't have a posting or a location display yet, but Gavin and his fellow students have done a great job with the help of the commission to work with CHS to implement this into the art curriculum.
So Michael, Brooklyn, Noya, Inara, you're going to be in high school. Keep going.
So another project I'm working on is a composting program at Calabasas High School in compliance with Senate Bill 1383, which mandates composting at the state level. And that program began yesterday, and we have 3 compost bins at Calabasas, and we're encouraging students to compost their organics. So yeah. And I'll hand it off to the other student commissioners.
So I'm excited to announce that we've been progressing the Roots and Shoots Coyote Trail Revitalization Project at Calabasas. For those who are new and don't know, this is a project to turn this natural area on our campus into a green space to fight climate change and just kind of make it a beautiful place for people to walk by on campus. So recently, we just completed phase 1 of our project. We had a very big trail cleanup. We gathered around 45 volunteers. Unfortunately, it did rain, but we gave out around 80 community service hours and the teachers gave out a lot of extra credit. We collected 18 full bags of trash, brush, and other debris. Here's just a few pictures of people at work. And I'm also excited to announce that we've scaled the Roots and Shoots Club to 40 members with this new event, and we had a lot of volunteers. Here's a picture of the before and after of the project.
All right.
So what's next for this project? So as I said, phase 1, cleaning up the area is done. Now we're going to move on to phase 2, which is preparing the ground and soil and outlining where we're going to plant native plants. And then there's a few other phases, but that's for later. And I'm also excited to announce that we've received a grant from the National Jane Goodall Institute to fund this project. We've received around $250, and that is going to go straight into this project. So for those in the audience that don't know, we have this community scale recycling program called Bags for Benches. This is primarily run by the Environmental Commission and us student commissioners. Basically, our goal is to recycle 1,000 pounds of plastic to get it turned into a bench. And recently, Calabasas High School has been hard at work with Miss Sneed, the APES teacher, implementing a homeroom contest. And we've also been rewarding other collectors with community service hours. And I'm excited to announce that we've collected around 117 pounds today from this contest alone. And just a general update on bags for benches, we're about 70% done. I think we're about 768 pounds out of 1,000.
Hello, all. My name is testing. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, my name is Skylar Fong. I am a, I guess, quote unquote, graduate now of Calabasas High School because I went through the California Proficiency Program to test out of high school, and I will now be attending Moore Park Community College in January. So, but I am still definitely involved within the Calabasas Environmental Commission. So one of the things I did is that I helped out the Calabasas Cheetahs, which is a local track and field program and cross country prep for nationals. Specifically, I ran with them like about, I think about 3 to 5 miles for each of them and help them kind of gain strategy and things like that while they're out on their nationals course and race in Indiana. Another thing was I am trying to get in contact with the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority, otherwise known as the MRCA, or the United States Forest Service, to hopefully donate supplies as well as volunteers and help with soil preparation and irrigation, and hopefully provide some adult volunteers to hopefully get involved with the Coyote Trail cleanup or revitalization project. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Before you guys leave, I'm just going to let the commissioners just make any final comments about the drawings. Do anybody want to make a comment about the students who are here? Did you want to say?
I've been on the commission for many, many years, and this is the first time I've been at this event because I'm always out of town. It's been an absolute joy watching all of you receive your awards. Congratulations.
I will. Randy.
Congratulations on all those amazing drawings. You all should be very, very proud.
Any of the student members want to say anything real quick to this? Just spoken.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm very proud of everyone, and I hope you can continue your environmental journey. And the recycling contest inspired me on my environmental artwork journey, so I hope it can do the same for everyone as well.
That's great. Say anything? Okay, just a couple of final things. I just want to say that the calendars make fantastic gifts for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, New Year's. So make sure you get them. Give them out to all your friends. Seriously, your kids' artwork is in them. So make sure you grab a bunch of them. They'll be at City Hall. They were at Gelson's. They were all over town. So make sure you get some of those. They'll be ready soon. I also want to thank the teachers again. Make sure you guys go back and thank your teachers. If your teacher's not here today, make sure you do thank your teacher. I saw students' names from Bay Laurel, from Chaparral, from Lupin. I don't know if we had any Round Meadow, but A. Wright, A.C. Stell. So, I mean, you guys are representing the city, and we're so incredibly proud of you. And I also, appreciate everybody being here. And if you have any questions or anything, please let us know and continue to get involved. You also can see this. You can see your speech, and you can see yourself receive the awards at the City of Calabasas. These are taped, and you'll be able to see yourself on TV. It's all archived, so you'll be able to reach out to the staff or any of us, and we'll be able to help you. We'll be able to help you with doing that if you want to see these later on. Should be I don't know.
It's also available on YouTube. So if you would like to go to the City of Calabasas YouTube page, currently it's live, but it'll be on the website ready for you to review and relive your award award receiving.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna take a 5-minute break. And thank you all again for being here. Please continue to get involved in our environmental commission, our environmental community. All right, I'm ready. All right, and we are back at the December 10th meeting, 6:55, and we're zooming through. Great stuff. We are on to, I think,
She said number 7, but we're still on number 6.
I think we're on number 3.
6.
We changed the order.
B before
voted and
3. Now we
changed the
go
agenda.
back to 3.
The students, but we're on number 3 now. We moved the students to ahead of number 2, I think. So we're on number 3 on the agenda, which is rescheduling the November 2025 meeting date. This is just a formality because staff realized that the date falls on Veterans Day when our meeting was scheduled. So obviously we want to push that back. So we will, I know it says staff will introduce it, but are you cool that I just did? Yeah. So we just need a motion to change it from, Melanie, what was the date that we had? Whatever
Sure,
it was the first
November,
Thursday,
November 11th.
first Tuesday. Now it's going to be
November 13th.
November
Thursday,
13th
November
of
13th.
2025.
And
So
on each of your laptops, you have the staff report attached with some background regarding the issue and a summary of the recommendation.
I'd like to make a motion to change the meeting on November 11th, 2025 to November 13th, 2025, because it's Veterans Day. Anybody second?
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
We're just pulling it up. So number 3. Wait, here, just pull this up so you can see
Oh, the staff report.
You got it?
You need
this one. No, up here. So now click on number 3.
Got it.
So we need a second?
Yeah. I'll second that motion.
Perfect. So we have a motion by Commissioner Byrne and a second by Vice Chair Schwartz. I will now go through the roll call. Chair Cohen,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schwartz,
Yes.
Commissioner Byrne,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacquiani is absent, Commissioner Eilish.
Yes.
Wonderful. The motion passes and we have rescheduled the November 2025 meeting to November 13th. Thank you.
Wonderful. Now we go to number 4, discussion of the draft environmental commission work plan. So if you go to number 4 on the computer, you can click the staff report on this. Commissioners are providing feedback on the draft environmental commission work plan. This is, we actually kind of had a work plan this year. Are you going to put it on the screen as well? Cool. Thank you very much. So the idea is that we have these 4 meetings. By the way, this meeting is not one of the 4, but whoever chairs this body in the future, I strongly recommend that you try to have you see how this is called a special meeting? Because it's not one of the 4. So the December meeting, we have obviously quite a bit of business, but the 4 meetings that we have are February, May, what is it? August and November. So, is there discussion?
Yes.
I have a question for you. Under informational Carl Gibbs Environmental Excellence Award, it lists a February 4th, 2025, and that's in 3 months.
Yes, this is just a draft version. It's showing our regular milestones as they would normally fall. So in 2026, for example, we would hope to have the environmental award and the calendar recognition in February to abide by the 4 meeting
The reason
frequency that we have laid out.
the reason that that particular issue has occurred is in part because of me, because I scheduled this meeting as the chair, and at this meeting, I had the Carl Gibbs recipient. Had we not had this meeting, it would have had to happen at our next meeting. Our next meeting would have been February. So the same thing with the student recycling awards. Had we not had a meeting after we voted in November, when would they have received their awards? It would have been the next possible meeting. This is part of the reason I pushed for a December meeting. Personally, I think it's important that we have it, but we voted to have 4 standing meetings. So assuming we always have a December, my recommendation is going to be that we always push it to this meeting like we've done this year. But to answer your question, why is it on there? That's not next year's Carl Gibbs. It was this year's Carl Gibbs was originally calendared for next year.
Right. So should we modify that because it should be,
Well, it's a draft. I mean, it was,
okay. I just wanted to call that.
Absolutely. So we have a few ways that we can move forward. We can approve the work plan as is. You could suggest comments and then approve the work plan as long as staff applies those comments, or you can request that staff implements comments that are also discussed throughout this discussion period, and then staff can bring this item back and present it back to you for final approval.
I think I misunderstood. When we voted to have this extra meeting, I assuming that we would have this extra meeting every year because the calendars, rolling them out before the first was awesome. That felt like it was the appropriate, and they all show up. All the kids typically show up. There's so much packed into the meeting, but that was weird. But I think it's important that we see that we can't get the business done if we don't have that extra meeting sometimes.
We don't need staff permission.
Really?
Lisa. All we need to do is make a motion and add a
For
meeting.
the extra meeting.
And add the meeting, and we have a meeting. They're not stopping.
Oh.
This is not them stopping us from having a
Yes.
December meeting.
And we also need to confirm availability of council chambers or a facility for us to host the event, which was the issue with our December special meeting.
Isn't it just on the agenda? as a
Here,
fourth
speaking to, we're just having a discussion.
meeting? Why isn't it on the agenda as a fifth meeting if we all agree that this is a necessary meeting?
Staff has constraints is the reality that, like she said, about having a room. We all agree, and I'm sure Beth would agree as well, that the December meeting is an important meeting. However, it's not part of our scheduled agenda. So whoever is the chair is going to have to make a motion every year. Is that your understanding, or are we able to modify the calendar and have 5 meetings?
Mr. Chair, if I can recommend that you will make a comment that Environmental Commission would like to have a meeting in December specifically for Carl Gibbs Award and for a calendar. Maybe we can keep that as a comment, and if it's possible to schedule every year in December, that we will take this comment into consideration.
That works for me.
And then
yeah.
what would staff be able to get back to us prior to, like, we don't meet again until February. At what point would we know whether?
Well, we're done with this one. So.
We will make comments on this list because obviously we'll have to make modifications, right? Because certain items already not happening in February, right? So we'll make modification and we'll make a comment that's your recommendation that you would like to have a meeting in December for these items.
For those,
And this will be in the meeting minutes.
That works for me.
that works for me.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we go through each of the quarterly meetings and just discuss what's on there and see how that feels for all of us? Is that cool? So let's start with February, and then ultimately we'll get to after November, we will get to December, and that's when we'll recommend to staff that this be added. Is that cool? Yeah. All right, so February of this next year, which is just before our annual forum. So at that meeting, we would select our new chair and vice chair. At that meeting, we would, we've already done the recycling. At that meeting, when we would discuss our priorities for 2025, which could take a whole meeting. Yeah. And we would talk about subcommittees and whether they continue, whether we change who's on them, whether we start new ones. So, I mean, that's a pretty full agenda right there, but comments, thoughts?
I think that's good. And then we just take off the 2 that wouldn't apply.
Okay. All right, let's move on to May. in the May meeting, which is nearing the end of the school year. And so that's when typically we've had our student elections at that meeting. This year, during COVID, things were thrown off a little bit. But that May meeting, we would review the 25-26 work plan. So was that what we're doing right now? Is it?
So this is just a draft version of the work plan showing the reoccurring items. When we have a discussion with the 2025 priorities, we would implement a few additional items into this list that would lay out our whole year, and then we could still have as needed items requested, like in item number 7 that we have today, or at the end of the agenda where commissioners can request for items to be added to the agenda.
Okay. Any comments on that or thoughts? Anybody?
I'm looking here where it says about student member election, appoint one non-voting student member. And we had lengthy discussions about that. Would that be another motion situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have to have discussions about Carl Gibbs, who can, and the procedure, the policies and procedures regarding Carl Gibbs, policies and procedures regarding a December meeting, policies and procedures around student representatives. My understanding is that Public Works is in discussion with the city attorney to find out some of the rules on some of that still.
In terms of the Carl Gibbs Award voting process, yes, we're working with the city attorney, but for the student member election, the number of students is actually laid out in our municipal code, which has just been brought to our
Right,
attention.
but we've talked as well about having a student task force. And so that's still a discussion that I think, my guess is that if there were a motion made right now, that it would pass. So, I mean, at some point, we should have a conversation with staff to figure out how we memorialize that.
Absolutely.
Because, again, 2 meetings from now is our May meeting. We're going to have elections. I personally don't see a situation where only one of these guys gets nominated. So I think we need to head that off now, is my recommendation. Because otherwise, we're going to have, and not to mention all the other students that are getting involved. I mean, you saw the presentation from Ray that, there's dozens of kids that are stepping up environmentally, and there's no avenue through the city, through this body, for us to incorporate them. So whether it's a city attorney conversation, if it's not a city attorney conversation, then I'm going to ask for a motion that we form a task force. So you let us know what the next steps are for that.
Is it necessary that we apply it?
Yeah.
Using the email, the form that was sent to us through email? Do we need
It's necessary to apply if you want to be on this body.
Okay.
If there's a task force, like there's a task force of seniors who are now getting involved to help the environmental. And there are plenty of projects they can get involved in. They don't need to be on this, but they don't need to sit on one of these up here at the table to be involved in supporting us in programs and supporting the city. So I think there are ways to involve students. But I don't know. What do the other commissioners feel?
And your thought is to create a student task force?
I mean, this is just since we're having open discussion. Yeah, my thought is absolutely to have that. There's a mayor's youth council. The mayor's youth council does a fantastic job of incorporating youth into governance and to programs around the mayor of the city. They do a mediocre job of incorporating students into environmental initiatives, and clearly we have a need. So
absolutely,
if the city doesn't help us, or if we don't have direction, then yeah, we as a body should make a motion to form a task force and start promoting it.
Mr. Chair, we have another meeting in February. Why won't staff will provide the update to the commission on that?
Here's the only issue. If it's not agendized at the February meeting, then we get to May. And in the May meeting, in the absence of change, we've been told there's one student rep, and that's going to be a problem. So I'm telling you, I'm not going to vote. I'm personally going to abstain if you make me choose between these guys.
Yeah.
And all the other students who are going to run. We had 7 this year. 7 this year. We had 6 last year. And you know what, frankly, I think it's silly to have this conversation. I mean,
we're discussing the topics for
somebody
our
brought
next
up-
meeting right now. Why won't we include to the February meeting, the staff provides update on the student task force.
That's
information.
fine with me as long as it can be agendized that we vote. I don't want a situation where it says, sorry, you didn't get it on the agenda. You can't vote on it till May. And then we're in a situation where May comes and there's an election. Because right now on the
Right.
May calendar is an
Right,
election.
right now, we're looking at our schedule and we're removing some items because they were already done. So we can add one item to the February that staff provides you an update on this topic.
I'm fine with staff giving us an update. I love that.
Yeah.
My question to you is, as push this forward, come February, when staff gives us an update, and if the update is you can have one student, we already told you that's the end of it, then where are we at that point? Are we able to make a motion to form a task force?
If you only can have one student commissioner per municipal code, then that's what we'll have. The task force will give you an update in February, and then you'll vote on it. Yes or no, there will be yes or no answer. We'll give you update. We have time before February
So
to,
yeah,
yeah,
without having
to consult with our city attorney, and we'll give you answer to you.
So if we only vote for one, because it's what we decide is our rules, okay, that's understandable. But then we can expand the participation, maybe. That's
If
what
we
I was looking-
can, right,
If we can.
then that will be brought in.
We'd want a place for every one of them if we could, but I understand you have to look into that. So,
Correct.
okay.
Thank you.
So just, I'm not clear. I apologize, but I'm struggling with this a little bit. We have a group of students right now involved in plastic recycling, right? Some of them are sitting on this body, some are not. There's other students who have chosen to participate. They are not part of this commission. They're not student representatives, but they are part of what I would call as a task force on the plastic recycling program. My question would be, how are we able to have, what is that title?
Keep that going.
How are we able to replicate that on other subcommittees? If there's a subcommittee on
Electric vehicles.
electric vehicles, and we want a bunch of students to be involved, which happened 8-9 years ago and ultimately led to electric charging stations here at City Hall and tennis and swim. How are we able to do this in the absence of?
We will have a direction for you at the February meeting. And this is the direction that you would like to go, and this is by the city attorney, and we don't need to make any other changes that might require changes to our municipal code that might take some time. Then you will be able to make your decision at that meeting.
I'm satisfied with that. Yeah. All right. All right. So let's move on to May, the rest of the May meeting. So we had, presentation and discussion of the student member election. And then if we are allowed to have task force, I might put on there something about task force at that meeting as well. Like somehow we need to start the year with students, like encouraging.
And that can also be one of the as needed tasks that we add. Like at the February meeting, you can vote to agendize that, the creation of a subcommittee, unless you're aware of what subcommittee you'd like to create. This is really just meant to be reoccurring items that aren't out of the ordinary. For example, the selection of the chair and vice chair and the student member election. These items have to be carried out during these specific meetings in order to stay in our timeline with our 4 quarterly meetings.
Yeah, I'm just, in the May meeting, not only did we elect a student, by the way, we've had 2 student reps the entire 10 years I've been involved. So we're now going from 2 to 3 to 1. So which again, I don't really understand how the municipal code suddenly penalized this commission and changed the rule from 2 to 1. But putting that issue aside, we also recognize the outgoing student members. So that's something that I would add to this agenda is not just electing new ones, but somehow giving some sort of credit to the ones who have spent a year.
The outgoing ones.
We've always done that.
Yes.
So I would add that to the May. Well, it didn't really stop.
No, we did it last time.
Yeah, but they will. Right, Melanie? They'll have some sort of recognition. But presumably, and
Outgoing student commissioners, we recognize them.
Absolutely. So we can add that to our May meeting prior to the election of the new students. So we could have a handoff from the previous students into the new students. We can add this to our reoccurring May items.
yeah.
I have a question, Melanie. I forget how the events that we have go. You know, we have these standard yearly events that happen over and over. And that May meeting, is there an event that's right after that we talk about, or that is no?
No, it's before.
Okay.
Our main events are in February. We have the forum. March, we have Arbor Day.
Yes.
And then April, we have Earth Day or the Green Expo. Those are our main events. And then in October, we have the Pumpkin Festival,
Yes,
which is where we'll be tabling.
Okay, thanks.
So in the past, one of the things that we've done during the summer, so this could go in May, it could go in August, but we've done a little bit of kind of a best practice discussion. And I would recommend that this be added to our agenda. So because again, we have from May, June, July, August, we have 3 months that, because there's no big program, Larissa, like you're saying, it's easy for us to do nothing. You know, I mean, what's coming up? Well, there's a pumpkin festival in October that staff really plans, and we just have to staff a booth. And we have a subcommittee, but the rest of us don't really have much going on. I think it's a valuable time to kind of step back and say, what have we accomplished? How do we want to make it better? So that's where it was at that conversation. It was at that meeting. We actually had an additional meeting in the middle of the summer where, and maybe we don't need to, maybe we could do it at May, or where we talked about, for instance, Arbor Day was always at Gates Canyon Park historically. And it was at that conversation where we said, well, wait, why don't we move it to other locations to get more exposure? And that's when it moved to the high school, and then ultimately to the other schools. And after Woolsey, they moved it to Mountain Restoration Trust. And so trees were planted all over. But that only came out of a discussion. So I don't know what you want to call it, but that's something I would recommend, is some sort of discussion of, we called it best practice. How can we improve our programs? And we discussed, how can we make Pumpkin Festival, how make our booth better? So we were discussing it in May, not just in August and September when it was, you know, like when it was right on us. And we had some time, and then you could, let's do something fun. Let's do some research. And, you know, like Skylar was talking about getting some soil or getting whatever. And we talked about Earth Day, are there things we could do to make our booth better or to make the whole event better? So I'm going to stop talking. I want you guys to chime in, but that would be a recommendation I would make, is that we add like a best practice discussion.
We're focusing.
Focus group, or however you want to, whatever wording you want to use.
Also, the students would probably have more time because it's going to be, if it's going to be after that, it's like start of summer. So
May is a good time.
yeah, that's like when kind of our minds can kind of let go of schoolwork, and our minds can kind of roam free and be like, oh, let's do this. Let me research this. Let's try this. So totally, I think that's like the best time.
Are there other thoughts?
I think you both brought up some very valid points, and I support that.
Just staff, are you okay with adding something? I don't know the wording. I'm comfortable with however you guys want to add that, but
So I did want to let you know, I'm taking note of these comments that you're passing along. It seems like we're not going to have a motion tonight, so I'll reread these notes back to you after the conclusion of this discussion, and then we can confirm that these are the correct changes that you'd like to see. If you'd like, we can go month by month. We still have August and November to discuss, and then I can read through these, and if you have any additional revisions, we can implement these changes, and then we can come back to you in the February meeting and adopt our work plan.
that sounds great. Does anybody else have, I've been kind of doing a lot of the talking. Is there anybody else? Or should I move on? Move on. I'm moving on. So August, right? We're moving into August. So now there's a discussion and action, annual environmental forum topic discussion. So that's in August. Okay. I mean, couldn't that also be May?
It seems like it.
I think if you would like to move it to May, we can do that now, but there can always be a request to move a specific item to another meeting. For example, in February, if you realize that you would like to move the
Yeah.
environmental forum topic to May, you can move to do so. If the entire commission thinks that we should move the forum discussion to May, we can do so. In February, we will be appointing the event subcommittees, so that would be giving them 2 meetings to maybe bring a discussion item, and in the May meeting, they could have a subcommittee update where they provide a discussion with the commission. And then during that August meeting, there could be that vote for the finalization of the topic and the theme in advance of the February meeting the following year.
When I'm looking at this August one, I see that these things, it doesn't take that long. Like this looks like a meeting that we could do in a minute or two. And I'm not sure what that August meeting, other than getting ready for the Pumpkin Festival, is about.
We also have the calendar contest, so
We announce the theme then?
exactly, announcing the theme and the timeline. And these items are just the reoccurring items. So as needed items can be added. We could include a presentation. We can include staff updates. These don't include any of the additional agenda items. These are just the meat and bones, as you would say, of the reoccurring items that we can't miss and we must complete throughout the year.
I see. Thank you.
I just have a couple comments. Does anybody else want to say something first? No. So for me, again, just thinking about how the year plays out. So like summertime is when people go away, students are away, the school year is starting. So August is kind of like kicking off the federal year or whatever, the school year. And so I think that personally, I think like I say, using that May meeting to kind of do some brainstorming and how to improve our programs, and then having subcommittees meet. And I think August is kind of an opportunity to be. I think there could be more actual discussion and like this kind of discussion at that August meeting, because there's a little things are kind of heating up at that point, right? We've got kids drawing pictures. We got Carl Gibbs awards coming in. We've got, and this is on top of all the stuff that city council may want us working on. So I think if just based on the fact that like Randy and I have been the subcommittee on the forum this year, and I think we could have used a little more time. I think if we had been discussing the topic earlier, like at the May meeting, we could have been finalizing it and reporting back in August. And by now it would be, we'd be even further along than we are. That's just, I don't know. Randy,
I think that's recurring. I want to say that I think that's recurring. And that's why this meeting felt so good to us, I think, because the timing, we just need a little more time to do all the things we do and then have our discussions. We end up with meetings where we don't get to discuss anything because they're packed with these awards or presentations or what have you. And so if it's about making a motion, please let me know, because I would do that now. If it's about waiting and getting feedback and coming back to this, okay. But it really seems clear that the meeting schedule, we can tweak it, we can add things, but just 4 is a bizarre rotation for the work that we're trying to do in a way.
Especially because of the Brown Act, our hands are tied unless we meet as 2. So I think you're right. Like when we meet to talk about our subcommittee items, that's all we really are talking about.
Right.
And I don't, what are your thoughts about the timing on the forum? Because we've been discussing the topic and we're still.
I think that you brought up a very good point about starting in May for the environmental forum. I think that that's really good to move that up to May.
Understood. I heard your comments. I've noted it here, and I'll read back the comments back to you when we conclude the November items.
Yeah, I think I might like add something in August about, again, since the year is kicking off, I think it's at that meeting, we should be going back to city council and saying to them, what do you want for this year? Like, what's your action plan for this commission, right? I mean, what's your direction? I mean, I talked to my city council member, and I mean, I talk to everyone's city council members, but I mean, I think that I would almost want the city council to give us their plan for at one of these meetings. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be August, but maybe it's May. Maybe it's, I mean, you know, that we're about to have a new mayor. Maybe he should come to our February meeting and give us his, what he would like for this next year or something, you know, something. I think, you know,
Allow me to work internally on this request and see if that is something that's feasible. I'm not sure the frequency of their sustainability plans or their initiatives that they'd like us to work on. I know this year has brought to my attention they would like us to re-envision and re-energize the green business program, as well as looking into a cool streets program. So as these direction is given from council, we'll make sure to share that with you. But if there is an opportunity to agendize this and have it a reoccurring meeting, that's definitely something we can try to incorporate for this August meeting as per your request.
yeah, I think, look, when they gave the feedback that that this year, green business and green streets are important, I think my sense is that we're ready to go. You know, give us a project and we'll take it on, right? In the absence of a project, we're creating our own is kind of what's going on. So if city council has things that they want us to work on, then I would put on there every May, give us something, or every August, or just, it doesn't have to be because green business may be done in a year. So whatever their agenda, whatever they see, pick a meeting, and I guess I would add that somewhere in here.
Absolutely. Heard.
Any other comments on August? And again, the Carl Gibbs Award deadline, you know, I know there's still a discussion of Carl Gibbs. So at some point, the Carl Gibbs, this year we weren't even aware that the nominations was open. So I'm assuming that part is going to change as well, that there's going to be
Increased outreach, further collaboration with other departments to dissipate the information and let people know. We did also agendize that in August, the Carl Gibbs Environmental Excellence Award nomination deadline reminder. So this would be something that's announced by the commission as well as advertised at our events, even as early in the year as February. We could start, people can start even nominating today before the next October deadline.
I think it's going to be really critical to get back to us as soon as staff is able or city attorney is able about.
Staff has been working internally, so we'll have an update for you soon on this item with Carl Gibbs.
Appreciate that. November. So the X there is now the 13th, right? We voted for that.
Correct.
Select recipients of the Carl Gibbs, select the recipients for the recycling calendar. More discussion of the forum topic. Present and I guess discussion of spring 20 of the follow this events coming up in the spring. Our forum, Arbor Day, Earth Day. Other things that people are thinking about in November? I just as I was saying that I think that it's valuable to kind of try to improve programs. Since November follows the Pumpkin Festival, I would add their feedback on October program. And like in May, feedback on February, March, and April program. So we're continually trying to tweak things, make them better, or, you know, that really worked well, let's do that again. I mean, I love what Larissa did at the Pumpkin Festival 2 years ago. So, but we're not going to discuss it unless, you know, with the Brown Act, I can't talk to her about it unless I'm here. So I'm only going to talk to her about it, or them, or that committee. I'm only going to talk to them about it here. So the time to do it is in November, not in February when it's so far away. So I like the idea of right after our events. And I also want to thank the subcommittees and the students and whoever's helped to make put these things on.
And right before the events, as someone who is new to this whole thing, right before the events, like August is a good time for us to gear up for the Pumpkin Festival, and the subcommittee reports or asks questions or says what they need, that kind of thing. This is the business that we need to discuss regularly when we're in the public, like here in this situation. And so having time to do that helps tremendously. So, and when we have a presentation, that could take the whole time. So yeah.
Absolutely. Commissioners, I have your comments here. Do you have any final comments before I read through this list? And I can read through the list and then you can add more comments as well if you'd like.
I just want to go on down here, the as needed.
Mhm.
The as needed, when Melanice and I spoke, this is, if there's a need to start a subcommittee, that's can happen at any of the times. So you see, if I don't know if you're looking at this work plan, but on a subcommittee can be appointed, like it could be appointed right now, or it could be, yeah, it's up on the screen. Second one is presentations. So at every meeting, we could say, hey, can you please have waste management or water district, or, hey, there's a fire right now. We need some discussion of fire, or whatever the excuse the pun, hot topics are, right? We could, so I think Melanie's did a good job of saying that those things, they always want us to be in the loop on what's going on with the Ringe Dam or the whatever things are going on with the city. And then also event planning and program updates. There'll be more discussion at each meeting. There'll be updates.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah. So if I came to the meeting and I said, I have this need for a new subcommittee or something, is that a motion that I would make to start one, or would I go to how does that work, process?
So we would just need to lay out the need, kind of how we did it in the August meeting this year when we reestablished our subcommittees. We gave us a distinctive goal that the subcommittee was going to achieve. Like Flora for Our Future, for example, said they were hoping to host a biannual seat distribution event. So by them completing that event would be the completion of that subcommittee and the dissolving of that subcommittee. For Pumpkin Festival, it would be the tabling and planning of the event. And then once that event passes over, the subcommittee would dissolve and then could be reinstated at a future meeting. And which is why we have the event subcommittee appointment in February. Most commissioners' terms expire in November. So when the February meeting rolls around, there may be new commissioners that we would need to intake their priority list or include them in one of these subcommittees, which is why we kept that in the February timeline.
That makes sense.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. So I will go through the list of comments, and if you have any further comments, please feel free to interject and I'll take note on this. We'll update the work plan on staff's part, and we'll bring it to our next commission meeting to review with you one more time before any kind of adoption or any action is taken.
Thanks, Melanie. Thanks for all your work on this. If you're able to send it to us prior to the meeting,
Yes.
whenever, it doesn't have, don't wait till February. Send it to us and we can at least start looking at
So
it.
in compliance with the Brown
Otherwise,
Act,
I'm
we
gonna do
would
all the
have to
talking.
send it, to be in compliance with the Brown Act, it needs to be sent at the same time that the agenda is published. So that would be the Thursday before the meeting. But let me read these comments back to you for now, and then we'll connect shortly regarding this. So for February, just for the 2025 work plan, we'll be removing the informational items for the recycling calendar as well as the Carl Gibbs recognition, since those have already occurred in 2024. We have also been asked to explore the student task force idea further and provide an update on additional students for the non-voting student members. For the month of May, we've been asked to add a feedback for February through May programs. We've also been asked to recognize outgoing student commissioners. Oh, let me go up to the May. My apologies. And we've also been asked to incorporate a best practice / event discussion or how to improve or a reflection period on previous events to see how we can improve. Next, for August, we've been asked to move the first item discussing the environmental forum topic to May. I did just want to bring up a quick comment. This year, we didn't establish our subcommittee for the environmental forum until August. So next year, we were hoping to have that subcommittee created in February, which will give you a lot more planning time. But we've been asked to move that discussion about the topic to May. We've also been asked to add a December special meeting discussion, whether it be in August or November, to have a special meeting within that year. We've also been asked for August to incorporate a feedback session for May through August events and programs. And then additionally, which could fall within August or November, a city council direction as a reoccurring item if city council has any specific reports or initiatives for us to look into. For November, we have been asked to add a feedback on August through November programs. These are all the comments that I had for the commissioners, and feel free to add more comments if you'd like.
I guess for February, I would add whatever happened. Each one, I would reflect on what happened the previous quarter.
Okay.
So
just adding a November through February recap in February. Any additional comments on the work plan? So staff will take your comments. We will implement them into the work plan and bring it back at a future meeting for a potential motion or additional comments. Thank you, commissioners.
thanks, Melanie. All right, so let's move on to number 5, subcommittee reports. Randy, do you want to talk about ours? Sure. Please.
Okay. David and I attended yesterday the private tour for the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing. And we were with a group of about 20 people, and we walked up to the mountain and we heard the whole presentation on where they're at. And as I said at the last meeting, they're looking at early, I think, 2026. They will be done, and it's going in stages. And I thought it was very informative. David, what did you think?
Agreed. Yeah. Stage 1 is done. That's the part that we all see, and stage 2 is where they get from over the freeway to where we're all standing, and the other side.
Right.
It was really exciting, actually. It's kind of cool. I'm glad that this is going to be part of our forum topic.
Yeah, I mean, we really saw things from a different perspective when we hiked up the hill to see it from this perspective. So it was very informative.
Cool. Yep. Make sure you tell everybody to come to the forum.
February 20th, 2025.
Beautiful. Larissa, do you want to talk about subcommittee for the student? What's it called? Task force.
We've been doing a lot. The Bags for Benches program has been delightful. And these kids have, like you said, over 700 pounds already. That's way quicker than we thought it was going to happen. And what's better than that for me is that people are now understanding some of the differences. At the senior center, they've been wonderful and asking questions about this plastic or that plastic. So it's making a difference what's staying out of the landfill at this point. And we are every week doing something, it seems like. And we have hopefully a new program we're going to try to start. We don't know. We're looking into stuff that's fun for these kids, and it's measurable. That's the thing, is we see so many young people at Calabasas side that want to be involved. I've met so many young people that want to be involved. I don't know what to tell them other than, okay, well, come on. And so having a place for these 3 and a couple more that have been working with us has been really nice. It's been really nice to see, and they're exceptional young people. So that's our future, and I hope we can keep on getting more and more involved with us. That's it.
Great. I do want to make a comment on this subcommittee as well, and then I'm going to call on the students because this is a student subcommittee. Since I can't talk about this outside of here because of the Brown Act, I am hopeful that there's discussion that's happening about another program that Gavin really kind of took the lead on. And the school is already having this program, whether we're involved or not. And Gavin touched on it earlier and can speak about it more. But we will be asked, I'm hoping that we will be asked to vote on this at our next meeting, and that we will, if we vote and if it passes and if, then we would be joining and supporting the school in this program as well as we've done with a lot of other programs. And it would be kind of a continuation of what we accomplished today with the calendars. And so I love that Gavin kind of, we talked about phase 1 and phase 2 of the wildlife crossing. I think the calendar and the recycling poster is phase 1, and I think Gavin has kind of kicked off phase 2 on that into the high school. And I think there's a lot of exciting opportunities. We've talked to students about possibly speaking at some of the other schools, and we've got other places that want to replicate the plastic recycling, other schools, because we're going to hit the 1,000 pounds. And if other organizations are doing it as well, scouting troops, schools, churches, synagogues, cities, then, we're happy to share with them. Comments, guys?
Yeah, I'll make a comment.
It's good. It's good. It's working.
I'll choose this one. I just wanted to say that the homeroom contest went very well. I think Gavin can touch on that a little bit too. So yeah, there was 117.5 pounds. So that's about a tenth of the whole. And I think that Miss Sneed also wanted to do this again next semester. So there we go. We have another 100 probably. And I just wanted to say that there's so many new students looking to get involved at Calabasas High, like I showed earlier with our first Roots and Shoots huge event. And we had a great turnout. There were actually like 60 responses to the sign-up form, but it did rain, so only about 45 people showed up. So I think anyway, we're still getting a lot of student engagement and involvement. And also, Miss Sneed told me that some kids like came by, I think yesterday, to drop off some plastic for the contest, but she told them, oh, the contest is over, and they said, it's okay, I still just want to contribute anyway. So just kind of that theme that we're getting a lot more students involved outside of us three and the few others that are working on Bags for Benches.
Contest is over?
Just at the school.
Oh.
This one teacher had
Got
a
it.
contest.
Got it.
Any other comments?
Yeah, so I wanted to explain the homeroom contest was basically a competition between Miss Sneed's classes for which class could raise the most plastic. And my class got around 63 pounds. So yeah, we did win the contest. So that was really exciting. But yeah, it was just one of the kids in my class brought like a lot of plastic from his job that is actually not recycled. So it's just really like profound that we found a place for this plastic that would otherwise end up in the landfills.
Awesome.
Yeah, and another great thing that was implemented was that Miss Sneed actually, she also teaches chemistry as well, not just AP environmental science. And it was just great to see because she also gave out extra credit or what it was also a homeroom contest for the chemistry class as well. And those are usually sophomores. I think, are there any juniors in? Few juniors, but mostly sophomores in chemistry. And it's just great because obviously they're up and coming and things like that. So it's great to see that they're participating in these types of things.
Thank you guys so much. Next subcommittee. Was it native plants or that was?
I'm not thinking
Green business, waiting.
Yeah, yeah.
For the year.
Okay.
More direction.
Okay. Any updates on green business or on green streets or any tree city or any of the other things that anybody? No.
Thank you.
All right.
So in terms of green business, we're waiting for the first of the year and we're working with the subcommittee on some preliminary research and such to see how we can re-energize that program as per council's direction. In terms of Tree City, we do have our Arbor Day celebration, which is one of those required items. So that will be on March 15th at Wild Walnut Park. As you had mentioned, some of your efforts were able to start changing the location for Arbor Day annually so we could share the love and plant trees all around the city. So this year we'll be celebrating at Wild Walnut Park on March 15th, 2025 at 10 a.m. I'll pass it back to you with the subcommittee updates. All of our future environmental commission meeting and events are listed at the bottom of the agenda as well, which Chair, I believe you'll be reading through at the end of our meeting.
Great. Any other commission reports or any other? No. All right, let's move in to Commissioner Communications. Please, Randy.
My heart goes out to the families, the pets, the wildlife that are being impacted right now by this devastating Malibu fire. And as of tonight, when we started the meeting at 6 o'clock, there was no containment. And I just wanted to express my thanks to all the volunteers, all the first responders who have tirelessly worked through the night and all day today to try to put out this fire. And, you know, Mary Sue said some very, very important stuff tonight about, you know, what's going to happen in the future and how we can, you know, all do our part for climate change. On a separate note, during the break, the speakers, Rose Beamer and I believe her name was Paige, gave me a little starter guide on the plant-based treaty, and they added something that they didn't add while they were speaking at public comment, and that was that the city of West Hollywood just adopted it. So it's something I think that we should explore more. And perhaps I can send it to you, Melanie, and you can send it to everybody else so that everyone can read up on it, because I know that they're going to be also be hoping that we introduce it to the city council as well. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we make a motion to add adopting that as a discussion for our next meeting?
Let's do that during the next agenda item, request for future meetings.
got it.
So then this will just be a request to agendize this at a future meeting. Chair Schwartz, I'll remind you when we get to that point.
Other commissioner comments? Larissa, Whitney? Nothing? Come on, guys.
This is my favorite meeting. This is my favorite meeting, David. This is my favorite meeting because of the kids. Seeing all their faces, seeing Gavin say, "Hey, you're the up and coming ones." It was really nice the way it worked out. Okay, so that's my comment.
I love it. I love it. I'll just make a few quick comments. First of all, I met with Heath, who is the chair of the Transportation Commission. We are talking about working together on electric vehicles. And first, we just want to kind of figure out what electric vehicle charging stations exist in the city, if they're functioning, if they're not functioning, what level they are, high speed, low speed. So there were some that were broken for a little while at Tennis and Swim and at Gelson's. And so hoping to get students involved in that as well. We did a project on that and reported that to City Council. And Transportation's very excited about that too, because it really touches on both. And they were also excited to try to promote more public transportation, which kind of is an environmental thing. So I want to definitely bring what they're saying back to us. Isla Goldfarb, who ran for this commission and did not get chosen, is now on that commission. So hopefully she'll join and cooperate with that. Similarly, I spoke to the chair of the Park and Rec Commission, and we're hoping to do some collaboration with them on trails. Hoping to get Howard, pull him back in. I mean, there's a lot of great opportunities with our parks. And so hopefully we can work together with some of the other commissions. City Council seems supportive of all of this. So I was really excited about that. Treya met with me and Heath, and I love that staff is supportive, and we're doing our best not to burden staff. So every program we do, we're trying to be respectful of your time and energy. I also attended the holiday party, which was this last week for the city, and unfortunately Randy didn't even know about it. So we got to make sure that we have more environmental commission representation. I was hoping we'd have an environmental table, so let's make sure we get all of us invited next time. I will tell you that they had a video, which I wish we could show to everybody right now. But the video at the I know you can't, but the video that showed at the holiday party, Mayor Weintraub introduced it, and a lot of the stuff that they highlighted was us, guys. I mean, it was really cool. Environmental Commission. It was, I mean, they did a whole bunch of plastic stuff. The three of you students were in there several times. There was the Green Streets that we attended, Skylar over on Las Virgenes, and it's really exciting. You watch this stuff and you see how much staff is doing. Hats off to Public Works, and they've opened parks, the dog park, the Wild Walnut Park, and if you could if you're able, can you please send that to everybody as well, that video? I think everyone, including the students, would get a kick out of that video that showed. And again, I was really pleased with how much of it was about stuff we're doing. So hats off to all of you. I also wanted to mention the wildfires, and thank you for saying that. We've had educational seminars on wildfires. We've had educational seminars on water conservation, on getting rid of lawns, and so if it's time to have more of those types of educational programs, let's keep that in mind. I'm going to move on to student report. Any other student comments? Staff communications.
Thank you, Chair Cohen. So this Monday, the LA County Chief Sustainability Office hosted a city summit, which city staff was grateful to participate in. It was at Alhambra Public Works. So it was great to go over to LA County Public Works and meet the other teams that are very paving the way in sustainability and learning from them and sharing our experiences. Additionally, the city is submitting our Green Streets project for various awards, including APWA and SCAG. And lastly, LA County Youth Climate Commission is open. So for individuals under 18, they can apply for this organization hosted by the Chief Sustainability Office. And I did email the student commissioners earlier today regarding this advancement that we made. So feel free to share that with your Roots and Shoots Club and any other students that you think may be interested in participating in this Youth Climate Commission. I think Gavin may be a part of this group already or has already inquired about it. No? Okay. The individual I was collaborating with actually knew who you were. So it seems like you've collaborated with the Chief Sustainability Offices in the past, I'd assume, or worked with them. Victoria? No, that's okay. Well, your name rang a bell, so I was assuming you were already a part of this group. But it is the LA County Youth Climate Commission. We all are also sharing this with the Mayor's Youth Council in case those students would like to get involved as well. That would conclude my staff communications. Thank you, Chair. Tatiana, do you have any staff communications to share?
No, thank you, Melanie.
Thank you both for being here, and thank all four of you, 4 staff members here, 5 staff members. You guys almost have us outnumbered. So thank you guys very much for your time and dedication. Requests for future presenters. Guys, we have a meeting in February 4th. Anything you'd like to hear? Maybe something on the fire. Maybe if there's an organization that can give us some updates on the damage. Hopefully they get that under control, or anything. Whitney, anything you'd like to hear?
It's called, you want to put on the
Plant-based treaty.
Can we make a motion to discuss implementing that as part of the city, like Tree City USA, plant-based? What's it called?
It's called plant-based treaty.
Yeah.
And what I
Wanna
can do
discuss that
is
further?
I'll send information and I'll obtain information from the city of West Hollywood on it as well. And I'll forward it to you, Melanie, for distribution.
Thank you, Commissioner Feilish. Vice Chair Schwartz, I have your request here for the plant-based treaty to be agendized and for us to discuss the implementation of that program. Do we have any other recommendations or requests for future meetings? Chair Cohen, you also mentioned a recap of the recent fire that's occurring. Is that something you'd like to request?
If there's someone who's knowledgeable and able to speak on it, if there's other topics that people want that are more pressing, that'll definitely be on the agenda. I'm hoping that'll be on the, but I'm talking, this would be outside, or, like how Waste Management came and spoke to us. Is there a group that, this is the opportunity for groups to
Do you guys
February
do you guys usually have a section on like emergency preparedness and things like that?
That's another commission, I think, that usually does that, right?
Yeah, there's public safety.
Public safety.
Okay, that makes sense.
Public
Okay.
Safety Commission, correct.
But yeah, this is the time to say it, because if we say it later, it won't. So if there's something that's really gripping you, like,
Melanie, do I need to make a motion? Like, if we want our Pencil to Planet thing to be agendized so that the commission can talk about it, do I?
You don't need to make a motion. You could just request it right now as you're doing.
I would like to request that the Pencil to Planet program be really evaluated and we talk about it as a commission because it would be timing wise, that would be necessary by February.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And by doing that, if it is something we're voting on, it'll now be on the.
Yes, I'd like to reiterate that I would like the Earth Day Festival to be at the City Hall courtyard and longer hours.
Absolutely. That's something we can include in our lessons learned, as Chair Cohen suggested, to have those recap of the events. So as we're establishing that subcommittee, that's definitely a discussion we can have.
Love that. I agree. Get more exposure. Okay. I mean, it sounds like we're good. You do have some organizations that have, right? Like some of the people who've shown up for Earth Day, for instance, that we may not have heard from in a while. If there's anybody, the Water District or, some of the groups that, if there's anybody that we haven't heard from that has any updates, and maybe, Ridge Dam or whatever's, go ahead.
Yeah, I know of one organization that was at the Pumpkin Festival right next to us, the Environmental Defenders.
That might be a good one.
That would be great.
Yeah, I know they present at elementary schools just about environmental conservation.
Yeah, they come to the Earth Day Festival. Is that what you meant?
Or coming here. I mean, anybody could come to our meeting to give us a presentation? Anything you want? All right. I guess we're good. All right. With that said, I am going to formally adjourn the meeting at 7:59. See you all February 4th.